Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you forever ready? Always ready for class also. Can ah?
Can.
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. Today I'm here with my fellow SUSS School of Law coursemate Elaine. Actually, we graduate already. Yeah, so Elaine, right, and I were in the same boot camp. So when you go to SUSS School of Law, right, the first module is the boot camp. Then I always remember Elaine as this person, right, who was the only person who managed to find the correct case in one of the TMAs in boot camp. So she's the one who found the violet thread, but that's a story for another day.
Okay.
Yeah, but then after that we ended up, I'm super good friends with her husband, who happens to be our classmate also. Then end up, because I'm super good friends with him, I must be super good friends with his wife also lah. Yeah, so if you know like Candy, Kester, Elaine, myself, yeah, we usually like study. Then before exams, we'll try the exam paper together also,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we always bounce ideas off each other. So it's quite a miss because I miss studying. I miss discussing with all my friends. Yeah, but anyway, we're here to know more about Elaine. So Elaine, could you share with us a bit about yourself?
Okay. I recently graduated from the SUSS School of Law. I am currently undertaking the Part B examination. Prior to that, I was a nurse and I was working in the hospital for 15 years before I left in March to embark on a couple of internships to better understand the practice of law and also for myself to determine whether I think I'm suitable to practice law in the future.
Okay. So can you share about your hobbies? Like what do you like to do?
Okay, the reality is after I started law school, I had to give up my hobbies in a sense that because there really isn't much time. So prior to law school, I used to exercise actually very frequently. And I was also very into doing arts. So I would paint and I do actually display these art pieces in my house. So I gave this all up after I started law school. And now, I would say in a way, under the influence of Daryl and maybe my husband, I also started cycling. And I'm in the process of seeing how I can fit cycling into my schedule, but in a more, I would say, sustainable way such that I can inculcate some form of exercise even when I do become a lawyer in the future.
Was it also partially because you watched the Tour de France Netflix show?
Yes, I think that has a very good, I would say a positive influence on me because it gave me a better perspective of what cycling is about. And also what I very much admired was the tenacity and the resilience that the cyclists have within themselves because it takes a lot of discipline to keep to a certain kind of exercise schedule. And the Tour de France itself, 21 consecutive days of cycling 100 over kilometers is definitely not an easy feat. Yeah.
Yeah, actually a lot of people think that cycling is just like going, there's no tactics, but there's loads of tactics to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, could you share how you manage to cope with like work, family, and then studies? I mean, although now studies is it's not kind of over because we still have Part B. Yeah, but could you maybe share with everyone how do you manage to cope with juggling work, family, and studies while in law school?
Okay. In reality, for anything that we want to embark on or things that we prioritize, generally we would channel more time and energy into these areas. So whether it is in the study of law or anything that you want to do in your life, I think the most important is to identify what your priorities are. So for me, I'm very clear that my priority was my work, my studies, and to have time with family and also time for God. So with that in mind, then I would apportion the amount of time I can, especially when it pertains to my studies, because as a working adult, a huge portion of my time goes into working, and there are also added responsibilities that go beyond your working time. So I think it's very important that if the law studies is something that you feel very strongly about, it's important to you, then naturally you would apportion time to study. So for me, I study any time that I can. So for example, after my work, I'll make sure that I will apportion a couple of hours per day to study. And then my weekends are spent studying, doing TMA, so it's a continuous process.
Well, I would say you are one of the most hardworking people I've seen. Sometimes I feel like super exhausted, right? But still on Zoom trying to stay awake.
I think that's a bare minimum, especially when you want to practice law.
Yeah.
And in comparison to other of my peers who channel much more time than me, I think what I was able to do then was perhaps the bare minimum.
But actually for some people they can spare a lot of time. But I think for you what's good was that you managed to balance your very hectic work, which is not, time is not something that everyone has the luxury of having a lot. And I think for you that was the interesting part that I felt while you put in quite a lot of effort in law school.
I think it's because you don't have much time. Therefore, whatever time that you have, you will definitely cherish it, and you want to make the best out of it. So sometimes it's not about how much you have, but how much you make out of whatever that you have.
Yeah, true. But then anyway, right, there are 3 law schools. So why do you want to do law at SUSS?
Okay, it's actually for a very practical reason.
Okay.
The point being is that at that point in time, I was serving my bond with the hospital, which only completed in March 2024. So reasonably, there was no way that I could embark on a full-time law studies, and SUSS provided me an opportunity to both study law as well as work at the same time.
Okay. So then, SUSS, we have a focus towards family and criminal law. So if you had to choose either family or criminal law, which would it be?
Okay, that's a very difficult question, and let me explain why. Okay, I mean, I'm very tempted to say criminal law, but I also have to caveat it. The reason being is because during my internships and during my legal clerkship program, I think I have a more substantial time that is spent on criminal law. Whereas in the area of family law, I only managed to spend a month in one of the law firms. So and even when you're doing an internship or your clerkship, what you encounter is, I would say, very, very surface level. So for me to be able to definitely say whether I want to do family or criminal law, I think I will need time to assess myself.
Okay.
But at the moment, I think I enjoy the practice of criminal law more than family law. But family law has a very special place in my heart because of my own personal experience. At the same time, in SUSS we have a 1-year-long module of family law. So what this means is that you don't only study about family law, but you're able to better appreciate what the underpinning principles are in family law and apply it to your everyday life. I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, true. Yeah, actually it's quite practical. I tend to see it like affecting people from day to day. Even sometimes you go home, then you see your kid, then you're like, okay, I need to be a good dad because of what section 46B says. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's quite interesting. I enjoyed the study of it. Yeah, anyway, okay, this one, right, since you have done all the modules already for JD, so if you had to choose your favorite law module, which would it be and why?
I can only choose one, is it?
Okay lah, for you, you graduate already, I'll let you choose two lah.
Okay. I would say that I would say it would be the legal methods and legal writing.
Legal Matters is year one,
Yeah.
301.
I can't remember whether it's 3 but that was in year 1 that we
Okay.
did the modules. And I say on hindsight because now as I'm studying the Part B and when I did my internship, I realized that the most important thing about law school is not about the lectures or yourself learning about specific areas of law, because the irony is that the law changes very quickly, and the most important skill to have as a law student is to be able to understand the law, understand how to apply it, as well as to analyze, and of course more importantly is to write. So it was something that I admittedly underestimated when I was in my year 1 to year 3. It was only a much later period that I realized that actually the most important skill that you should ever take away from law school is about legal writing and legal analysis. So therefore, on that note, that is the reason why I think, yeah, these are my favorite subjects.
Actually, the book, the Glanville Williams book, is quite important, no?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people they just think that it's part of the reading list, but don't need to read.
The other book that I would recommend is the book written by Ong Elaine.
Okay.
Because that will help you to break down how you craft your written arguments, how you do your legal writing or your getting up. Yeah.
Okay. And then, which module do you find the most challenging?
I would say the legal clerkship program. I think the challenge lies in having to marry theory and practice. At the same time, being able to maybe live up to the expectations that you have for yourself, as well as what the lawyers in the firm have of you. And of course, for us, because the legal clerkship program, it's actually, I would say, a privilege that was given to us by the school, because our lecturers actually have to have connections with the various law firms before posting us to these firms. So there's also the expectation of not wanting to disappoint the school, as well as the lecturers who have invested a lot of time in us. So that I would say is one of the most challenging modules.
Yeah, actually that was quite important. Like, I'm quite sure some of the lawyers got better things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but I think they took the time out. So like, I actually got some people asking, do we get paid? Yeah, I'm like, I was thinking, do the lawyers get paid? Because they gotta guide us.
Because in a way they are like our tutors in practice,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
And it's something that you must appreciate and not take for granted.
Yeah. Oh, but you did very well. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So the final question, right? Quite important. So, any tips to share with future batches of SUSS School of Law students? Any tips?
Okay, I would say maybe 3 points. The first thing is to realize what your priorities are, because only when you know what your priorities are, then you will naturally channel your time and energy to these priorities that you have identified for yourself. Number 2 is that if you, at any point in time in your law school, if you are not coping, don't be afraid to reach out, whether it's to the lecturers or whether it's to your friends. Always remember there's help available for you. The third thing is to cherish the the time as well as the friendship that you have in law school. Because honestly, when you are studying law, sometimes it can get a bit lonely. So it really helps when you have people around that you trust, people who understand the situation they are in, and continue to support you along the way. Yeah. So these are my 3 tips.
Wow, okay. Thank you. Okay, so thanks Elaine for your
you.
time. Thanks for sharing about yourself and your journey in the SUSS School of Law. I'll see you around, not on campus because we both graduated already. Okay, so for those of you who are still don't know whether suffering or not, right? All the best. But yeah, all the best for your Part B. We're taking the same batch.
Yes.
Yeah, exams in June.
Yes.
Okay. After this, we still have class.
Yes.
4 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And as always, right, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to the Just Follow Law YouTube channel. Okay, see you.
Thank you.
Bye bye. That's all.
Okay.